Hey guys, today we're going to be learning about solving proportions. So last time we did some basic proportions, and this time we're going to look at some more complex proportions. So to solve more complex proportions, that look like this, for example, 6 over 4 equals x minus 1 over 8. So yeah, we have two terms in this part. We're going to follow these steps. So step 1 will be to set up an equation by cross multiplying, just like before. So step 1, cross multiplying. And on this step, make sure that you use parentheses, and I'll show you what that means. So be sure to use parentheses. Okay, and so what I mean by that is you've got your original 6 over 4 equals x over 1, x minus 1 over 8. When you go to cross multiply, this one that has multiple terms, you're going to put parentheses there before you cross multiply. So the equation that this will make is 6 times 8 is 48 equals, and then on this side, you're going to have 4 times parentheses x minus 1. So then you'll have to distribute in the next step. Okay, so step 2 is use the distributive property. Let's circle this too. That's super important. I want to make sure you notice that one. Okay, so use distributive property. So I'm just going to bring this equation down. 48 equals 4 times parentheses x minus 1. And we are going to start solving it just like we've learned to before. So we're distributing. So we have 48 equals 4 times x, or 4x. And then notice this is a negative 1. So don't forget it when you multiply. 4 times a negative 1 is negative 4. Okay? And then we're going to, step 3 is going to continue to solve for the variable. Okay, and I made my bars a little too long, so step 3 is going to go right here, and we're going to continue solving there. So circle your variable, think about inverse operations, getting rid of the constant first. So I'll add 4 to both sides. So 48 plus 4 is 52 equals 4x, and those would cancel. Okay. And then our final step to get x by itself would be to get rid of that 4 by dividing. So 52 divided by 4 is 13 equals x. Okay, so our final answer would be x equals 13. All right, so we're going to do a few more examples, one more with me and then 2 try on your own so you can get used to this. So let's do this example. 4 over 6 equals x minus 5 over 8. Okay, so remember our first step is to put in those parentheses and cross multiply. Okay, so 4 times 8 is 32 equals, and then on this side, 6 times parentheses x minus 5. And we're going to put in our divider and start with distributive property. We're back to multi-step equations. We always start with distributive. I noticed that negative sign, so I went ahead and circled it so I don't forget when I'm multiplying. So 32 comes down. 6 times x is 6x, and 6 times negative 5 is negative 30 because they have different signs. On the side with the variable, we want to get rid of the constant first. So opposite, inverse operation would be to add 30. So 32 plus 30 is 62. Bring the 6x down, and the 30 and negative 30 cancel each other out. Final step to get x by itself would be to divide by 6 on both sides so that those 6 make 1x or just x. And 62 divided by 6 is 10.3 repeating. You are allowed to use calculators on these. You're going to get some repeating decimal answers, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's do the try on your own. Remember, write it down, try it, and then unpause the video to see how you did. So first one is going to be x over 2 equals x plus 7 over 9. So pause the video here and try it out. Right, hopefully you're back and you remembered to put the parentheses here before you cross multiplied. Okay, so here x times 9 is 9x, right? And 2 times parentheses x plus 7. Okay, first thing we need to do is distribute. So the 9x will come down. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 7 is 14. Now notice this one's a little different. We have variables on both sides. So remember, we have to move variables to one side using inverse operations. So I'm going to take the smaller term and do the opposite. Okay, so 9 minus 2 is 7x. 2x and negative 2x cancel each other out, and I bring down my 14. And then my final step to get x by itself would be to divide by 7 on both sides. 7 into 7 is 1x or x, and 14 divided by 7 is 2. All right, we've got one more try on your own. Okay, so number 2 is 3 over 3x minus 6 equals 7 over x plus 2. Pause the video. Don't forget your parentheses. All right, hopefully you did that. Parentheses here and here. These both have multiple terms. Then cross multiply to set up your equation. So here we have 3 times parentheses x plus 2. And here we have 7 times parentheses 3x minus 6. Remember, order doesn't matter when we're multiplying, so we can stick those numbers at the front so it looks like a normal distributive property for us. Okay, let's make our dividers, and we need to distribute on both sides. I'm noticing a negative 6. I'm going to circle that so I don't forget it. Okay, 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 2 is 6. 7 times 3x is 21x, and 7 times negative 6, those are different signs, will be negative 42. Now, I don't have any like terms on each side, but I do have variables on both sides. So remember, pick the smaller variable and do the opposite. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So this cancels, leaving 6 on this side. 21 minus 3 is 18x. Bring down the minus 42. Circle your variable on this side. Get rid of the constant first. So do the inverse. Add 42 to both sides. 6 plus 42 would be 48. Bring down your 18x, and the 42's cancel. And then here, to get x all by itself, I need to divide by 18. So 48 divided by 18 is 2.6 repeating. Again, calculators are allowed, equals x. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our practice. Let me know if you need any help.